Welcome back to the channel. This is a little bit of a surprise book haul, sponsored by my wife. She put her name in on the free site on Facebook. I don't know if any of your communities have like a page that's for free stuff. We give a lot of stuff away on the free site. I call it the free site, but it's pretty much a page on Facebook. We do a lot of purging around the house, around the holidays and after the holidays, just certain times of the year. And we'll throw up a lot of stuff on the free site. And then we've also gotten a few things if we need them. I picked up a TV not too long ago for the office and certain things like that if we were kind of looking for it anyway. We don't get much books off of it because a lot of times it's a lot of books. And there was one time there was a cool like haul of books that someone was getting rid of, and there was a few fantasy novels I wanted, but there was also a lot of kids books in there. And I know a lot of people will just take what they want and for free, on the site, like roll over a little bit, so to speak. So it's like, I'll take the fancy books and I'll just get rid of the free books. But I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. It's a lot of work and I'm lazy sometimes. But every once in a while, one of us will throw our names in to get some books. And yesterday, my wife was like, hey, I put my name in for these books, and the woman picked me. I was like, cool, this is awesome, because it's a lot of classic novels that we both have either in the past few months or few years have said that we might want to read, or kind of like in passing, when we talk about books or something, like, oh yeah, we should check that out, or it'd be cool to read that. And my wife also uses the free site a lot because she will, especially this year, she's been doing a rotation with her books. We'll read a memoir, and then she'll read a fiction book. And with the memoirs, if she likes it, it was fun, but she's not like in love with it, she'll sign her name and the date she read it, and then give it on the free site, and then just encourage people to do the same thing. I mean, we don't really care if people, we've had a lot of people comment before, like, oh, you're getting rid of that, and someone's going to sell that. It's like, okay, cool, if they have the time and want to, like, more power to you, because we don't care. It's like, we'll sell certain things, but if we're just trying to declutter our house and somebody's just going to go take it for free and maybe make a buck off it, good for them. And so she had a couple books like that, a couple memoirs that she's like, liked them, never going to reread them, signed her name and gave them away. And it's cool. Every once in a while we'll see them pop back up. I'll be like, hey, that's your copy. She's like, oh yeah, I saw that. So with these books, what we're going to do is most of them we're going to read. And then if we don't read them, or we kind of sit on them for a while, we'll do the same thing. We'll probably put a bundle of, books together on the free site and just give them away. But at least for the time being, I think most of these are going to get read. But let's go through the surprise book haul from my wife. So the very first book is a doozy. It is Don Quixote by Cervantes. There's a couple books that are in like that literature, like classic literature category that I've always kind of, I should read that. So one of them I have Alexander Dumas's Three Musketeers, Count of Monte Cristo's on there, and then Don Quixote. It was one of those books. But then I pick it up and oh my God, this thing is a brick. Like, you could use this as a weapon if you needed to. Like, if someone tries to mess with you and you get your copy of Don Quixote with you. But it was really interesting. I read the very first page that kind of like explains a little bit of Cervantes and of the book. This is super awkward. I don't know why I'm doing that. And it was cool. It was very interesting. And the last little line really kind of stuck with me. It talks about like the different volumes, because this is actually the complete works of Don Quixote. So it's 2 books, and I believe some plays that are in there. Don't quote me. But Miguel de Cervantes died on April 23rd, 1616, the same day as the death of Shakespeare. His English this is why I don't read out loud. His English contemporary, his only peer. So I don't know. This is one of those like maybe pie in the sky dream books that I would love to read one day. Maybe if I ever get a cabin and something, I don't know. But I don't know. I kind of want to see how many times I can say I don't know in this book haul. I like the idea of reading this into 2 sections. If you don't want to read a 1,000-page book, just read 2 500-page books inside of it. But I don't know. Maybe we'll check that out. I don't know if you heard that. That's how heavy that book is. Second book is Bret Easton Ellis's American Psycho, right here. And me and my wife, she hasn't seen the movie in a while. I haven't actually seen the movie in a while. Big fans of the movie. And it's always one of those books, like adaptations, where it's like, man, I should really read the book. It'd be cooler one day to read the book. And I know they're remaking the movie, so it might be a good time to reread the book and be a mega snob and be like, well, it's not this original movie and it's not like the book, but whatever. But yeah, might be interested in reading this one day, pick it up. It's cool to have it. So, this was the book that kind of started the whole conversation. Earlier, I was talking about books that you'll just come across or say like, oh, we should read that. And like a week ago, my wife was like, I should really read The Great Gatsby. And so this is The Great Gatsby, which looks like it is. Yeah, a lot of these books seemed like maybe they're from a book club or from school, especially that Cervantes, Don Quixote. It seemed like it was very much like the cover was well worn and well open, but the pages were haven't been really flipped through. So I wonder if it's been on someone's shelf for a long time. This is a very well loved copy of F. Scott Fitzgerald, The Great Gatsby. We were both kind of surprised of how short it is, but I guess to be a great novel doesn't need to be long, which is kind of nice. It's now that I'm flipping through it one-handedly, you can see a couple annotations where someone marked the pages. This must have been used for a book report. So this might be close to the top of the list, especially for my wife to read. So that's very cool. This other book I know my wife is excited for, and I'm kind of excited for too, because it seems like there's some bonus content in here, but this is Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451, love letter to reading and the love of reading, and science fiction tale of, kind of, it's weird how this book, it reminds me a lot of Idiocracy, where it started out as just like a cool concept, but ends up becoming such like a heavy, commentary on our life, and a very important book. I read this a couple years ago, but this is the 60th anniversary. This is trade paperback size. My wife is excited because this one that we have is mass market paperback size. And after my video about, loving that format, it's funny that she's like, yeah, I can't wait to read this one and not have to squint. But it's cool because I think this one has, because this book isn't very long, but there is a ton of content. So it's Fahrenheit 451, and as I flip through and make exciting content, it looks like there is the history, context, and criticism, edited by Jonathan R. Eller. So this looks like a deep dive into Fahrenheit 451, which I think is really cool, which may be a really good, like, after I read it the first time, I felt like, oh, that'd be a really cool book to reread. And this is my copy that I read a couple of years ago. This is the 50th anniversary, and it actually talks about, I think there's an interview in the back that talks about how Ray Bradbury wrote it. I think he would spend like 5 cents or 10 cents on a typewriter and get like an hour or something like that. And he was writing it at a college. And it's a really cool book. It's a book about science fiction, the love of reading, and just his commentary on the culture shifting towards television and easy content and getting away from things that make you think. And, I think there's a lot of people that will use this book in certain ways politically on both sides, but very interesting. I'll put that back later because I'm not going to try to be more awkward than I already am. Last book, which I had never heard of. It seems pretty heavy. It's called Night with a new preface. So it's called Night. There's a new preface by the author, Elie Wiesel, winner of the Nobel Peace Prize, a slim volume of terrifying power. This said the New York Times. I believe this is about, this is about taken from his home in 1944 to the Auschwitz concentration camp. This seems like a heavy book, not in the thickness, but maybe in the subject matter. My wife recently read Diary of Anne Frank. Previous video, I talked about picking a book up for her, and then I bought the Story of Three. Did I buy? What's it called? The Book of Three. It's on the shelf back there. I picked up the Diary of Anne Frank, and that's what she was wanted to read. This one we'll probably get to this. Definitely seems like something important to read. Maybe a heavy topic. Maybe once we read something a little bit later after. But I had never heard of this book, and it's kind of one of those things that sometimes when you don't hear, you're kind of surprised. Like the books you think you're going to go through, it's like, oh, Fahrenheit 451 and Great Gatsby and this and that, and then this kind of book out of nowhere to us really came out, and it might be one of the more important books in the lot. So, so this is just a quick little video. My wife surprised me with a book haul, and I'm excited to jump into some of these books. And anyway, until that's somebody else's sign off. I need like a cool sign off. Until next time is somebody else's. But regardless, have fun and read some books. And I don't know. I need to think of a sign off. But in the comments below, write if like I kind of talked about in the beginning of the video, like what our plans with these books are once we're done reading them. If we want to keep them and maybe possibly reread them, cool. If we're going to get rid of them, put them back onto the free site. And let me know if you've picked up some good books on if you have a community free site or maybe even a free library, if you picked up so many good books. And if you have any, like rituals, not rules, maybe rituals is more of a better, funner way of saying that, where it's like, hey, if I get a free book and I don't want it anymore, maybe I put it out in the world again as another free book. Or if you sell it, cool, no judgment either way. And I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye.